Well, as promised, we are continuing to keep you updated on the situation as it stands with the flooding in the Columbus area. We've been providing you with updates throughout the day here today, but once again joining us here at our offices in downtown Columbus to give us a situation update on how things are right now in Columbus. I'm now being joined by Columbus Mayor Jim Bulkley. Mayor, thanks so much again for joining me here today. And for starters, much like we chatted about yesterday, now here today, what is the situation update with the flooding as it pertains to the Loop River and the rescue operations that have been going on over the last couple of days here in the Columbus area?
Well, thank you again, Alex, for having us. I think it's important to keep the public appraised of what's going on, let everybody know what's happening, and I'm glad to do that. So I appreciate your efforts and the Telegram's efforts and everybody that tries to keep the public informed. We came through last night in pretty good shape. We were fortunate that the levee held. We probably had some water come around on the river in a few places, and we had some water pushed back from the river in a few places. So I'm not going to say nobody got any water or nobody had a little bit of damage, but overall, for what we could have seen, we came through this in pretty good shape. The visual situation that people see driving around town, we're still pumping our storm sewer. Our storm sewer that runs 33rd Avenue is what dumps into the park by the Higgins Memorial. So people see a pump there and wonder, what's going on? That's just the storm sewer taking the water away because the river's still too high for it to do its own thing. So that's taking place. We're checking the levee out because of all the water and the pressure that was on it. We just want to make sure she came through in good shape, and it certainly appears it has. We've seen great amounts of recession. The water has really receded, since last night. We, like I said, are in pretty good shape. We're still landlocked. We're still locked in. We can't get to the north, south, east, or west. So I hope everybody's enjoying Columbus because that's where we're kind of stuck, at least today. I'm not going to guess when, but I would think maybe within another day we'll have one of those routes opening up to get out, south or maybe west. But again, I just don't have a feel for it. There's a lot of water out there running and still coming this way. So we just got to recognize that.
And then obviously we talked yesterday about the fact that the National Guard was going to be bringing in a Black Hawk helicopter to assist with rescue operations. And we've been seeing it throughout the day here today, helicopters in the sky in Columbus trying to get to those harder to reach individuals who were affected by the flooding. So how have those rescue operations been going, and how has that coordination been with the National Guard to make sure that those people who are in those dangerous situations are brought out safely?
Actually, it was ongoing, starting again this morning at 7 o'clock or between 7 and 7:30. The first helicopter arrived back in town to start getting those people because we were not able to get all of them last night. They did, if you remember, I told you yesterday when we visited that the National Guard was coming in. They had to cancel at first because of the wind and the weather. We had the FEMA unit up from Lincoln Fire 1, and they were up with their boats, and they were unsuccessful because of the current and the weather and the winds. They were not able to help get anybody. Fortunately, by that time, the Guard was able to come back into the picture. They got here about 6:30 last night, initiated a few rescues that they could get to. Unfortunately, they also got called off to a rescue over by Arlington. So they then said they'd be back first thing in the morning. They did. I think they may still be in the area. I've heard them. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I had heard the helicopter not too long ago. I know they were close to being wrapped up and pretty comfortable that they'd gotten to most people, but they're certainly going to stay till they get them all. But we had 4 helicopters in the area at one point this morning. So I think we may have seen 1 or 2 head to the east because, as you know, if you're paying attention to the news, there's a lot of this happening and even worse as you go east toward Valley, Omaha, in that area.
And then I understand we were chatting a little bit before we started here today about the fact that you had the opportunity to go up into one of the helicopters yourself and just kind of get that visual, get a look at that area. And I know for a lot of people here in town, they haven't been able to see what exactly it all looks like with the fact that all those roads are closed and there's no way to get out there. So what was that like just to see from the overview of what the situation was like and how all that flooding really looked like when you got that aerial view?
Yeah, it was a great experience. Supervisor Ingall and myself had an opportunity to go up, and take a look. And of course, we went up, starting there at Pawnee Park, went up and out to the west over the Wagner's Lake area, and then south down across Highway 30, and then back to the east out past ADM. And I mean, without exaggerating, at some points it looks like you're just looking at a vast ocean of water. I mean, it just there's inundated areas that you just cannot believe. Again, it's starting to recede, but there's a lot of saturated ground out there and a lot of water. And you know what? I shouldn't say saturated, because we're still frozen in some spots. So that will end up running off probably actually quicker than maybe in a normal spring or summer type rain.
And then obviously a lot of people have been displaced due to the issues of the last couple of days. Obviously, a lot of people are in need of assistance due to what has happened over the last few days due to the weather, due to the flooding. So how can people in Platte County, how can people in Columbus sort of help out those who have been in these issues over these last few days?
Well, we knew, emergency management immediately knew that as soon as the event's over, they were talking about, we're going to start getting inundated with, requests for what can I do, what do you need. So they right away were starting to look at what could be set up, what could we do. So through emergency management, through the United Way, we've set up a fund, and actually, pardon me while I read it, because I want to make sure I have it right. It's called the Columbus Platte County Area Disaster Fund. We will be getting that set up. It's so new that we don't have yet a location for drop-offs if somebody wants to donate something. We don't have that secured yet. We hope to have all that done by this afternoon or evening, and we'll get that word out on Facebook and out on social media. But right now, I guess what I would say is that this is set up through First National Bank, this Columbus Platte County Area Disaster Fund. Financial donations probably go the furthest of anything, because with the money in hand, you can go buy absolutely what's needed. And so if anyone is wanting to help, the best thing they could do right now is a financial donation to this fund through First National Bank.
And then finally, just to wrap things up here today, because obviously it's a busy time for yourself, it's a busy time for all the emergency management folks, all the responders here in the Columbus area. So just kind of taking all the last couple of days into account, and the fact that there's still more issues ahead that may need to be dealt with as this flooding still continues. So can you just give just a quick update again, or just a quick word to the folks here in Columbus or in Platte County about how yourself and the emergency management crew and Platte County, and how all of this brain trust will be working together to continue to try and mitigate the situation as best as possible as this continues?
Well, the plan will be to move forward just like we have been the last couple of days, the last 48 hours. Everybody's been working together as a team. I know we stressed that and commented on that yesterday, but you can't say it enough. I mean, emergency management, Platte County, the Sheriff's Department through Platte County, the supervisors, the mayor, myself, the mayor, the police, all working together. You know, there's been no turf wars or territorial wars. It's what needs to get done for Columbus and Platte County.
Well, Mayor, again, thank you for the time here today, giving an update on the situation to the folks at Columbus, and just good luck on everything moving forward.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
Again, that was Columbus Mayor Jim Bulkley. As we continue to keep you updated on what the situation is like here in the Columbus area, we'll continue to provide you with updates as they become available, and as the water starts to recede, we will give you all the latest information here. So make sure you stay tuned with News Channel Nebraska for all that information as soon as it becomes available. Reporting in Columbus for NCN, I'm Alex Loroff.